Alright guys, today we're going to go over the flex offense. Flex offense is a very popular offense, probably one of the most popular offenses I know. It's a continuity offense, meaning the players are interchangeable, so everybody plays basically the same position. There'll be ball movement, there'll be cuts, everybody gets a touch on the ball. So a lot of coaches use this offense because it's really hard to defend. Okay, on this first clip, so this is actually Maryland from several years back. Maryland, they ran the offense quite a bit, and so although they had different ways that they would get into the offense, meaning different ways to get into the offense means, one team might set a down screen to get to the first pass, or some teams they may just V cut. Some teams may just have a guy post up at the elbow and pop out to the top. Some teams will hit the trailer, so the trailer being the guy that that trails the ball. So to set the offense up, they may pass to the trailer, and that initiates the offense. So there's a lot of different teams that run things different ways, but the core base of the offense is what we're gonna go over right now. Okay, so starting off the offense. So these two circles at the top, those are the two guards at the top, and those two guards, it doesn't necessarily have to be a guard. So it could be a forward, like in this situation, looks like that might be like their three. But it could be a forward, it could be a guard, it could be the center technically, but it could be any position, any player from any position, which that's why it's considered a continuity offense, because everybody plays the same position. It may be different looks. Like if I got a really dynamic ball handler that can attack off the dribble, maybe when he catches it, it could be an isolation and he's ready to attack off the dribble, and I wouldn't want my center to do that necessarily, but the offense is still the same, the movement is still the same, it's just the reads out of it may be different. This is considered a 4-out, 1-in offense. So if you look, technically they kind of already got a jump on the offense, and so you got the guard at the bottom corner, or the left corner. He's about to cut off the screen right there, but he should be spaced all the way outside the three-point line to start. The other guard, or the other guy in the right corner, he should be all the way outside the three-point line as well. And so that means you would have 4 players outside the three-point line, and you would have 1 player inside the three-point line. And so that would be considered a 4-out, 1-in. This is what the offense is based off of, is this cut, that cut from the block, coming across the lane, and when he sets that screen, they're gonna have action where the guard from the top, or the player at the top, sets a down screen for the screener. So that's considered screen the screener action. So somebody sets a screen, and immediately after somebody sets a screen for them. So that's considered screen the screener. So as you see, Maryland in transition, this is actually a perfect fast break. So this is a side note, perfect fast break. They got 2 guys on the wings running wide. They got a guy running down the middle of the floor. And if I'm the coach, I'm actually trying to hit him. He's in front of his man. I'm trying to hit him as he's running down the floor. And then they have their trail, which is outside the screen right now, but they got their trailer in the back. That's a good fast break, and they got actually what they wanted. So they'd have a one-on-one with the guy catching the ball right in front of the rim. I would take that, but that got them into their offense. So just in transition, so they went with the trailer option. So to initiate their offense, they hit the trailer, and that'll initiate number 3 in the corner coming off this baseline screen. So the big guy inside is going to set this flex screen. He's going to do a flex cut coming off this screen, and they have the option to go over the screen or under the screen. Because of how the defender's playing him, he looks like he's going to probably go under this screen. Let me go back a little. Because how the defender's playing him, they'll probably end up going under this screen. But it's important that you use your body and bump the guy into the screener. It's important that the screener gets himself set, gets big, because if you set good screens, it forces communication for the defense. And the communication, that's where the teams break down. When you have to communicate, not every player talks. And so you have to communicate. When you don't communicate, 2 guys guard 1, and that leaves somebody open for a second, and that may be the open shot, or maybe a bad closeout, or anything could happen. So it's important that you really use the screen properly. So it's the offense, the guy running off the screen, it's his job to really brush the guy off the screen. and then it's the screener's job to really get set, get big, so he can have a big target. And if they have to switch, then you're winning, because eventually you're going to end up with a bad matchup. It'll be an easy drive, an easy post up, just something easy. So now we got the screener action. Sets that screen like it's going to be wide open. Oh, they could have hit him, but it opened up the slip. And so this is important, because as a ball handler, you got to know what you should be reading. So a lot of players, they look for their teammate to be open, and that's great, but sometimes by the time you see them open, it's a second late. And so what you have to do is you have to learn how to read the defense, so you'll know when they're going to be open. And that's a big difference. So if you really understand the game and you know how to read the defense, then you'll know that a second from now, my teammate will be open, because I see how they're playing this screen. I see how he's setting the screen. I see a cut that's going to be available. So by the time if you're Chris Paul, by the time he makes that backdoor pass and he makes it on a dime, all of a sudden, well, he probably knew he was going to make that pass a second or two early, because he knew, based on how the defender was guarding the offensive player, you should already know what pass is about to come. And so right here, he makes a really good pass because of that miscommunication, and he gets an open layup. And that's good basketball. That's really good basketball. One thing about the flex offense, there's not a whole lot of dribbling. So when you make that, so the core of the offense as far as the ball movement is, it goes from one guard at the top to the other guard at the top, and then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Rarely does the ball go to the corner, and a lot of teams do have special actions they'll do when the ball does go to the corner, but rarely would the ball actually go to the corner unless the person is wide open to shoot, because it kind of breaks down the continuity of the offense. So it's not illegal to pass the ball to the corner, but if you do pass it to the corner, it should be for opportunity to actually score, not just moving the ball. So as you see, that's the action. You have the screener action down at the block, and it sets up a lot of wide open elbow jump shots, a lot of driving lanes, a lot of easy catches near the basket for layups, and it makes the defense defend, because 5 players are all doing something. There's so many offenses that, there's 3 people within the action, and then there's 2 people off to the side, and their man just gets to stand, and they do what's called muck it up. And so if I'm not a part of the action, then my man can just help. Okay, so those are some of the basics of the flex offense. So you have, it's a 4-out, 1-in continuity offense, meaning that each player is playing the same position. Even though they may have different roles within those positions and different reads. So my point guard, he may go for drives when he gets that isolation on the elbow, or at the top on the wing. My big man, when he cuts across the block, even though the guy's guarding him, he may get a post isolation in that situation. My shooters, when they come off that screen to screener action, so they set their screen and then they come up off the screen, they should be looking to pull the trigger, because that's a shooter. And so everybody has a different role, but the offense, the actual positions of the offense remain the same. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please like the video and click that subscribe link below, and we'll see you next time.